podcast. I'm your host, Chris, and today I'm joined by Alex. And today we're going to talk about a newer film, the 2021 horror film directed by Zack Snyder, Army of the Dead. And I was late to the party knowing this was going to be a fucking thing, bro.
What do you mean?
Like, how long did you know this was going to be coming out? Or did it kind of just randomly pop up on you too?
When was it originally released?
Like, literally Friday.
This
3 days ago.
3 days ago. I knew about it because they were promoting it. I saw it on my Twitter feed for a couple, I would say maybe like a week ago.
Okay, so this
It's about a
sprung
week
up on you randomly also.
Yeah.
Like, for as big of a movie as this, like, was, like, it looks like it cost a fuck ton of money to make.
I mean, I would say so. I was
Like-
debating on it. Like, did it really look like they had a lot of money put into it? But it's to some part it did.
Like, do you remember when World War Z came out?
Yeah.
I, like, had heard about that in the news, like, years before it fucking actually, we saw the movie.
Oh, really?
Like, because that was gonna be, like, a monster fucking film because the book was so well known.
Gotcha.
So this, I don't know, I feel like maybe I've heard about it and I just forgot that it was gonna be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or I thought it was gonna be more of a B-movie type deal. But, I mean, this looks like a fucking blockbuster.
Let's say the only reason I knew about it was because it was promoted on my Twitter feed, but it's because like I don't know why, but I think it's because Batista's in it, and since he's a wrestler or like used to be a wrestler, I guess like they promoted it off of like their like WWE stuff, so they were promoting it like on their last show.
Oh, so the WWE actually, like, fucking put out for it?
They put out for it because he's a wrestler for them.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I remember hearing about it how they had a match where they had like wrestlers on the outside, but they were all like zombies.
They're dressed like zombies?
They were just like zombies and acting like zombies, and everyone just hated them for it.
Glorious.
I've never watched it, but I heard it was really bad, and I'm not surprised.
I don't know why I always thought that Batista had left the WWE on bad terms. Maybe he didn't. I just don't know enough about wrestling.
I don't know why he left. I think he just
Because I remember because Batista is the main guy in this movie, by the way.
Yeah, he's the main character.
And yeah, like I remember when he did Guardians of the Galaxy, he was Drax. What else was he in? He was
in another movie. Like
he
that
was some Indian dude, right?
Yeah.
Where they were like in a car chase or some shit.
Yeah, and they were like, I remember like that being like a big deal of a movie, and I've never heard anything after that movie.
I haven't seen it either.
I feel like it flopped. Because I remember they were making a big deal out about it. Like I think he was promoting. I think that's what he does, which is pretty smart of him. I think he goes back to wrestling to promote a movie, and then he like leaves again. Because I'm pretty sure that movie was gonna come out when he did his last match at WWE, and I think the Indian guy was in the crowd, like, and they kept panning to that guy,
Yeah.
like him cheering him on and everything. So I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
Huh, that's crazy. But
Other than that, I have no idea what else he was in.
I don't know. Every time I think of Batista, bro, I always think back to when I was like in middle school, bro, watching wrestling. And he was part of like Evolution with like Triple H and Ric Flair and shit. That might even before you can remember.
No, that's kind of like a little bit when I first started watching.
Yeah, because he had the slick back at the time.
Yeah, he was like the new guy.
Mm-hmm. He was just the muscle. He was just the big.
Yeah, the big muscle.
That's literally all he did. He didn't have any lines really.
He
It was him, Randy Orton, Ric Flair, and Triple H.
Yeah, good old times.
That's what I always think of when I see Batista still to this day, though. So it's fun to see, he's kind of taking on more of a comedic aspect in most of his roles. Even on this one, it was a pretty serious role, I think. There wasn't really any comedy on it.
Not in his part, but even in general, like I don't remember the movie being like that. There wasn't really any moments where it was like, this is a funny movie. Like it had me laughing like maybe twice, but that's about it.
Well, the German dude was kind of comedic relief.
That was, I guess, yeah.
I don't know if he was German. I think he was German.
I think he was German. I think he was supposed to play as German.
Well, no. So, like, to summarize this movie, basically, it's like, it feels to me like a fucking ripoff of Train to Busan 2. Have you seen Train to Busan 1?
No.
It's a zombie Korean film about people on a train trying to get through a train compartment. But the second movie is literally people get paid money to go to Korea, which has been walled off because there was a zombie apocalypse, and they're going to get money.
So like a heist movie.
It's a heist movie.
Which is basically what this movie was.
Yes.
After I finished watching it, I ended up going on YouTube and I follow this YouTuber and he does movie reviews. So I was like, he reviewed this movie like maybe like a day ago. So I was like, oh, let me see like what he said about it. And he basically said what I just thought right now, where it's like it's a heist movie combined with the zombie movie. So you're not getting just a zombie movie and you're not getting just a heist movie. You're trying to like be creative and do both at the same time.
Yes, and then you got to think though, how well did they execute them both though?
Like together or separate?
Together. Like we're not gonna say specifically at that part. We're just generalizing what it's about and what you'd compare it to. And yeah, I think I got Zombieland vibes, hard as fuck. More Zombieland than, because this is directed by Zack Snyder, who made the Dawn of the Dead movie from 2004 when they're in the mall. Which I forgot that he did that.
I forgot about the movie in general. I haven't seen the movie in like forever, to be honest.
I saw it at the movies, and it's got one of my favorite jump scare moments of all time. And you wouldn't remember it, but I remember as a child, it made me literally stand up out of my chair.
What was it?
It's literally, I couldn't even like describe it to you because it's such a minimal part of the movie that you wouldn't remember it. It's literally a lady walking up to like a glass door, and then a zombie's face just goes on the glass door. And that's all it took. It took me out, bro.
I mean, as a kid, you're more scared easily than as an adult. But
Yeah, I wasn't all rough and tough and handsome. Like
I'm
I
sure
know.
now if you look at it, you're just gonna probably like laugh your ass off of it.
Probably. Yeah, because I mean, 2004, bro, I'd been 12.
2004, I would have been 8.
You probably would have jumped to then. It's all right.
Yeah, it's okay.
But Zack Snyder movies in general, how do you like them?
I think the only one that I've seen like that I remember seeing is the Justice League's one.
You didn't see Watchmen?
I never finished it. I always wanted to watch it, but I've never finished it.
How dare you, bro? Watchmen was the shit.
Oh, I'm sure it's a good movie because I've always been interested in watching it. I just never really ended up watching it. There was one time I watched the show that they came out with like on HBO like a couple years ago.
I think that was just last year.
Last year? Yeah, I watched like the first 2 or 3 episodes of it on an airplane, and I was like, it was really good. So I'm assuming that the movie would be just as good also.
Yeah. I liked it because I was a big fan of the graphic novel Watchmen. But he made 300.
Oh, you made 300?
Yes, I think that was what he was really known for.
Okay, then I've seen 300.
Sucker Punch. Man of Steel.
No.
Sucker Punch was fire, by the way. It was stupid as fuck, but it was fire. It was very I would actually compare this a lot to Sucker Punch.
Is Sucker Punch like a ripoff of Fight Club?
No, Sucker Punch is Sucker Punch is about a female getting sent to a mental institution, correct? And while she's there, it's all women's correctional facility. And where the guy, he uses it, the main guy who runs it uses it as like a brothel low key. So all the females there are just baddies. And what they do is whenever they have to like dance to like entertain a gentleman, in their minds they escape like Matrix style to some fucking video game type scenario. Like in one, the girl, she's always in a schoolgirl outfit, like little fucking baby skirt, and she's got like a katana and fucking big ass fucking handgun, and she fights like Japanese skeletons, zombie fucking Nazis, and then the last level's like demons and a dragon.
This sounds very interesting.
That's what I'm saying. It's stupid, but I love it.
No, like it doesn't even sound stupid. It sounds pretty cool.
It sounds cool, but it's just like this.
Executed stupidly.
But it's executed very similarly to this, where it's like this big fucking. It looks amazing, but in terms of actual story, it kind of loses itself slightly.
It takes itself too serious?
Yes.
Gotcha. What else did it make?
Man of Steel, all the fucking like you said, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman.
Gotcha.
All the DC movies.
Okay. Yeah, then I've only seen Justice League 300, and then this.
Yeah.
So that's all I've seen from him.
So I mean, he's done some fucking bangers, bro.
He's known, pretty much, I guess.
He has a very specific style. It's gonna be dark. It's gonna be kind of broody.
You know, I saw on Twitter last night also. I don't know why it showed up, but I remember seeing a tweet about how he brought that up. He made Justice League, and you know how I think that movie flopped, right? The first Justice League.
He did half of it, and it got picked up by the guy who made the first Avengers movie, Joss Whedon. And Joss Whedon, he did edits to it to brighten everything,
And
add more humor.
Because wasn't there like a cut for it and it's supposed to be longer?
Well, no, that was Joss Whedon cut a lot of Zack Snyder shit.
Oh, okay. Well, I remember reading it, and it was saying how his intention was to make a second one that's supposed to be like more darker and like how you were mentioning. So I'm like, I can see how like maybe that's what the tone he goes for.
Yeah.
Because like now that you mentioned like 300 and then seeing that and then this movie, like I can see why he's trying to go for a darker tone, but maybe not executed correctly. Maybe.
Yeah, because like even if you think about Wonder Woman, you said you saw that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know how it's kind of the color tones are more gray, just like in 300.
It's more like a filthy grail type thing.
More gritty, like a true crime fucking type deal.
Yeah.
So I think that's just his aesthetic, and it doesn't bother me. A lot of the slow mo fight scenes, cool beans. I'm into it.
I wish I saw this movie in good quality.
Oh yeah, so Alex saw the movie on the laptop through binoculars.
I wish I still had access to that Netflix account. I don't know why it logged me out. I don't know where, but I don't have access to it anymore, so I had to.
Was it my Netflix account? Because I recently had to like reset my password because I went to a hotel and I accidentally left the account logged on, so I had to log out of all the devices.
I don't remember. It might have been.
It wouldn't shock me, bro, because apparently everybody passes around my fucking Netflix like a goddamn joint.
I think if you give it a Moy, then probably.
Yeah. Because Moy's on there. I changed his little icon. It just says Mooch.
It probably was his. Because I remember I got on and I was like, I don't even remember whose Netflix it was, and I was like, I have Netflix somehow, but I'm like, I'm not complaining.
I wonder if like he went over to your crib and he signed on to it from your crib. And
Probably.
you just probably got to keep it, which I don't care, but
Yeah, probably then in that case, because I'm like, I just remember like one day I just had it and I was like, I guess I never used it though. That's the thing. So it's like
this episode of you never seen that old TV show Friends, right?
Yeah.
Or you've seen Friends?
Yes.
There's an episode, bro, where Joey and Chandler on their fucking box TV, they were channel surfing and they accidentally went to one of the Playboy channels and they had it for free. And they were like, oh God. They're like, we have this is back in the day, you had to subscribe for some shit or pay for however it worked.
Yeah.
So they were like, oh my God, we put it on this channel and the porn is just free and we don't know why. And so the whole episode is about them never taking the porn off their TV and they never turned it off. So it was just constantly on porn because they were scared that the free porn was going to go away.
Oh, yeah. I've been through that before too.
The girls never came. But no, so yeah, I think we summed up what the movie's about, right? There's a zombie. We learned there's a military bioweapon gets out in Nevada.
It turns into well, obviously a full zombie movie, but also turns into a heist movie also because of the premise of it. It's like going back into it.
So Vegas goes under.
Mm-hmm. Vegas goes under, and then
gets quarantined,
and it starts expanding, and then they ended up like quarantining the whole city out, which is weird to me. Like, if you're gonna quarantine the whole city out with zombies, why would you still live like literally on the other side of that?
Yeah,
because you know how I saw the camps were there.
You think they'd be a little bit further back?
Yeah, you think you'd be like, just in case for whatever reason, like they
because that's how Chernobyl is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or at least according to the movies. There's like 5 fucking checkpoints before you actually get to the city, right?
Yeah.
There's like a 10 miles out, 8 miles out, 5 miles out, like continuous checkpoints of like just in case it gets out, right?
Yeah, and it's like they have all the. Well, I guess I was gonna say refugees, but they're not refugees. It's just people
I don't know what the fuck they were.
It's just people
that got out.
That got out. That were just hanging out in the like a camp base.
All right, fuck it. We're getting into spoilers because I want to talk about things and what I'm upset with and stuff. All right. So if you haven't seen Army of the Dead, go watch Army of the Dead. It's on Netflix. Do like Alex, borrow your boy's fucking password. Do whatever you got to do to see this movie. All right, with that being said, though, let's go ahead and talk about Army of the Dead.
Go for it.
But yeah, bro, I was confused as fuck.
Go. What's up?
Because just one of the things you mentioned, bro. Why were the people hanging out outside of the camp? They didn't have anywhere else to go. There was no money. There was no funding. A lot of shit's not explained, I don't feel.
Yeah, because it's like you go from like well, obviously in the beginning you see like them transporting the big giant zombie, right?
Uh-huh.
And then first off, you don't even know where that zombie came from. Like why we're like what happened? Like why is it already mutant? Like person like being taken, and where are they even going? Like are they going to Vegas? They're going to Vegas, right?
Maybe they were just
They're
driving
passing by.
through Vegas. They were just going to pass it.
Because like my thing is like where does that even come from? They didn't even explain anything like that. They were just trying to figure out what it is.
Listen, that part doesn't bother me because it's one word. Science.
Totally.
It's the whole thing Resident Evil's been doing for like 30 years, bro. Do we know why? No, but it's there.
Well, it's like there's a lot of those where it's like, but why though? Is it like that? That's another point. Like to me, it's like, where did this guy come from? Like was there another zombie apocalypse before, or
You know what a bigger question for me is? So the initial zombie that you're talking about, he's the one with long hair in the fucking movie, right? It's the same guy.
the big buff dude? Yeah.
So on the Wikipedia page, the zombie's name was Zeus. Did you fucking pick that up anywhere in the movie?
No,
In the fucking wiki page, his name is Zeus. I had no idea.
I don't even think he said his. No one mentioned anything about like his name or anything.
Exactly. They named the tiger, but not the fucking leader.
Yeah.
Which was whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, so at the beginning of the movie, Zeus fights like 6 army guys who have some type of rifle, ARs,
Yeah.
or whatever, and they're
Yeah.
shooting him fucking point blank range. Nothing. And at the very end of the movie, though, he gets dome pieced in the head by a handgun, and it blows half his fucking dome off. Or am I tripping?
No, you're right. I was just laughing because I remember about the part before that, about the couple,
Which part?
the very very beginning, of why the thing.
Oh yeah.
I just remembered about that. I started laughing at.
So check it out. So when the movie started, right, there's some dude. The whole reason that the zombie apocalypse kicks off, some guy's getting fucking topped off after getting married by his bride, and she's all like, "Are you gonna make an honest woman out of me?" And I like you can just know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like that happened in Stephen King's Thinner.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably happened in a couple other movies I'm just drawing a blank on right now. While a guy's distracted, runs into something he shouldn't have. And in this movie, of course, it was the fucking army truck with the goddamn zombie in it.
Yeah. It was just funny to me.
And the second there was impact, it wasn't just like a crash. Like the car
just exploded. Yeah.
And I told Denise at that moment, I was like, I'd be okay going out like that.
You know what? I honestly thought the same thing. Where in the fact of I wouldn't mind going like that, but I kind of figured that you were gonna say that when we talked about it, that you're gonna be like, I wouldn't mind going out that way.
Okay. So but then that happened, right?
Yeah.
And then there's that montage of like once the zombie gets out and he looks at Vegas, there's a montage of like the virus spreading. A bunch of slow-mo scenarios
Which is
where
the
people
intro. Yeah.
are getting attacked by zombies, which is completely taken from Zombieland.
Yeah, I was like, I thought it was pretty cool how they did the intro, like to like how they do the introduction of like naming all the characters and who's in it, all the art.
Oh yeah, we got everybody's backstory through it. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was like that like how it all happened. Basically, I know it's a cheap way to kind of like speed up the process,
but at least it's something.
But it's pretty cool how they did it though.
Yes, and one of those slow motion moments though was a guy, some older overweight dude getting attacked by like 5 showgirls completely naked.
Yeah,
and they ate him in a jacuzzi.
Yeah, in a jacuzzi. Yeah.
And again, I said I'd be okay going out like that.
It's like there's a couple ways to be like, I'm okay going out this way.
That's fine.
That's fine.
But no, my issue with that part though, right, is did all the scenes not just feel like video game cutscenes?
It did, because it's like,
because like they were doing outrageous things with big ass weapons.
Yeah.
Just little like 5-second snippets of them doing these heroic feats.
Yeah, because it was like the whole time I was watching like that part specifically, I was like, this reminds me so much of a video game that it's like I feel like they're trying to like play it as like if it was a video game in a sense, because like you have the snippets like how you said that they're all like doing like outrageous shit on it. But it's like if you were to do that like in a video game, you'd be like, that's pretty cool. So it's like I feel like they were playing off of that because like it also to me it was kind of a little weird how they would show their little snippet of their I guess part of the story, and then they would just they would do like a photo shoot. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was kind of like a mugshot almost, right?
Yeah, and I was like I didn't understand like that on that what it was correlating to.
Yeah. I think that was purely just kind of like trying to. They're just flashy.
You're like, oh, here's this guy. I guess that makes sense because it's like but that whole intro like I feel like it was like a video game like scene or something.
Yeah, and there was one character. There was a woman, right, who was like looked like she was kind of a leader of their group or whatever, and she dies at the intro, right?
Yeah.
Or am I thinking of that wrong?
I think there was.
Was that not the implication that she was like the baddest of them all?
I think so. I trying to remember though.
Because she's the first one they show before even Batista.
Okay, because I was trying to think. I remember there was two of them that died. There was one that was getting like at the very end of it, and then there's one earlier before that, which was like with him and with her and Batista.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to remember which one because there was two of them. So I was like, I don't know if they were both like leaders or one of them was the leader and the other one was just another team member that they ended up losing also. Do you remember?
Unfortunately, right? It just doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Huh?
It doesn't matter. But it's just like
I know, like I'm confused like you also, which is what I'm saying is that like for us to even like waste extra brain cells going like, but wait, did this person do that or do that? Because they don't really tell us.
Which is something I noticed about this movie. They do a lot. They throw something at you, but it's like it doesn't even matter. Which is like I guess is like for a fun movie like this to watch and just be like, oh, it's pretty cool, and you don't think too much about it. It's like whatever. But if you like start analyzing the movie and everything, like this like makes no sense at all.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, that's what we have the job of doing right now, which sucks because. Go ahead and tell me. Generally, did you like it? Or did you not like it?
I had a mixed reaction to this movie. Like it's fun to watch, and it's there's some cool moments, but it's not like oh my god, this movie's like amazing. You have to watch it. It's more of like, hey, you want to watch a movie? Oh, okay. I know a pretty cool movie that we can watch, like just to waste some time. You're like, okay, and it's like, it's kind of like that. Nothing like, oh, I like this movie's so great. We have to watch this movie. Like if you haven't seen it, you know.
This is the kind of movie, unfortunately, right, where you put it on and you can kind of just take your phone out and play with it, and every now and then you look up and you're like, oh, it's tight.
Yeah.
And then you kind of just keep doing whatever.
Yeah, it's like have something in the background.
Yeah.
Which it's not a bad thing, but I mean, for what it's going for, I mean, if it doesn't take itself too serious, and I mean, it accomplished that.
This really reminds me of the Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of it looks cool, action is great. It's better than the Suicide Squad because Suicide Squad was like a PG-13 movie. The fucking gore in this shit was incredible. There was some really like legit.
There's pretty cool scenes.
You know, when people get shot, stuff blows off.
Like when they get shot in the dome and just you see the whole actually like head explode off.
Yes, like it was very, very cool in that sense. So it did that right as a horror film, you know.
Mm-hmm. Would you count this as a horror film though?
I would call it more action, but because there's so much blood and violence in it, it could probably be
considered.
It'd be considered action horror, I bet.
Gotcha. I mean that makes sense then, because I'm like I don't remember this movie like trying to be scary at all. To be honest, it's just more of just trying to be like action packed.
Yeah. I think like because what I there's like a mountain right of like zombie films. And even just this type of actiony zombie films. Now, I compare it to other films. Mm-hmm. Like, number one being a Zombieland or a Train to Busan. Or, hell, World War Z, which I didn't really care for personally.
Uh-huh.
So this is a genre in and of itself. Run and gun fucking zombie movies.
Because there's, like, survival movies. There's, like, action zombie movies.
Yeah, so even this little subgenre of a zombie film, it's a subgenre of zombie fucking movies. It's not even like...
I've never thought about that. That they actually have categories. Well, I'm sure there really isn't, but like if you think about it, just categories of zombie movies. It's not just like, oh, it's just a zombie movie. It's more like, is it a survival zombie movie? Is it an action zombie movie? Is it this type of zombie movie? It's like I never thought about that.
Yeah, there is. So I mean, this is even in its own like little subgenre. I wouldn't consider it like
Up
the
there.
pinnacle of that.
Yeah, no.
But like he made Dawn of the Dead. I think I prefer Dawn of the Dead to this
Mm-hmm.
in terms of at least stylistically and story and everything.
Action wise,
Action wise, no, because Dawn of the Dead was actually a horror film.
yeah.
But this, I don't know. Like I don't want it to come off like I hated it.
So
but
you
it's
feel
just,
the same way.
I definitely feel like I expected more personally.
You expected more because of those movies, or you just didn't know what to expect, but you were like hoping for something.
I was hoping for more.
Gotcha.
Like visually, as a person who enjoys story, I just feel like there was a lot of characters in this movie that were underdeveloped.
Which to me, not. I feel like this is kind of goes back to what I was saying. How I feel like this is just a video game.
Yeah, these were video game characters we were watching. Like whenever somebody died, I wasn't like no.
You're just like, oh, he's dead.
Except for the little white dude, the safe cracker. I did kind of feel bad when he got it.
He had to go. But
even
but yeah, it's like at least for me, like it's just more like a video game like storyline. It's like the way it's portrayed out. Like, oh, we got to go gather your old crew members. You got to go do this. You got to go in this. You got to get. Oh, you're at the base now. Now you got to go find it. Like everything could just kind of set up like it's an actual video game.
like there was objectives.
Like objectives like throughout the whole movie, and then until the very end, it's like, like, I mean, if you think about it, the story was kind of cliche. It was very like,
well, because there's a whole thing is something that determines whether a movie, in terms of storytelling, right, is you want to make sure that every character has motivation.
mm-hmm.
So, what was the Cholo guy's motivation?
Just money.
What was the pilot's motivation?
Money.
What was, you know what I'm saying? We can keep it going. Every character, like, why are they doing the shit they're doing? And all we got was money.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not really good enough, you know?
It's not like, oh, I have to go in there because I need to find, I need to find this person. Well, I mean, one of the characters did, but
like, why do I need money? Like, oh, my mom has cancer, so I got to do this to help her, or just anything. You know what I'm saying? No type of.
I guess you could say that some characters had a better reason to get money. Some of them were just like, I want more money. Others are more like, well, I kind of need money for this, but it's like that's about it. It's just your motive is just money, which at that point, if you were to offer that much amount of money, would you actually do it?
Oh fuck yeah, bro! For like that was another thing I was thinking about, like comedically. Every time they were recruiting somebody to do the job, they were like offering that person less and less money within like every time they fucking did it.
Yeah.
Like he went to.
He $5 million for the first girl, and then it just kept going down.
2 million.
2 million.
500,000. 250,000.
Yeah.
You want 20,000? Like everybody just kept getting lowballed more and more.
Well, I mean, I guess if they don't know how much amount they're like, you're gonna get out of it. I guess you can get more money out of it probably.
What's the least amount of money you take to do a job like that? I'd say $1 million.
$1 million?
Your life
Is
worth
it
$1
more
million
like
bucks?
is it more like a situational thing where like I need money, or is it more of like I don't need the money, but I would go risk my life to do it if I had earned the money? Because I feel like that'd be different, at least for me, at least. Like if I needed the money like really really bad, like I had no other option, I'd be like for as much money as I can get. But if you're like I don't need the money, but I'm gonna get money out of it, it'd probably be a higher amount.
Oh, you would need more to like just do it for the fuck of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm like at that point I'm like I'm risking it because I have nothing else to lose. Other one's more of like, what am I gonna gain from it?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like a milli is a safe bet. Like you can change your life for that kind of money.
Yeah. At that point, it's like no matter what. Anything less, I mean, you can still do something, but I think $1 million's like a good starting point.
Me and my girl were talking about the coyote character, the blonde female.
Yeah.
And she had said that she doesn't really like believe her in that part. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like she's kind of playing this like tortured badass. But like something I even noticed was like the actress they had portraying her, she didn't do a bad job. I always say like I don't know anything about acting, but just for my believability, right? I felt more like she just looked like a supermodel. Like a supermodel in ratty clothing with like her makeup a little messed up.
You got a supermodel that's dressed like a Mad Max character.
Yeah, like I didn't necessarily believe, like, oh, this is fucking badass. It's been like sneaking people into the zombie quarantine zone.
Nah, it's more of like, oh, you just casually do this for nothing, just for fun, just for the fun of it, just to be there.
There was some movie I saw here recently where like there was this character that got portrayed, and it was like, whoa, I believe that. Like kind of like we talked about before with like in the Alien movies, like Ripley. You believe that's fucking, a badass like fucking space marine practically by the end of the story.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's part of the character development in the movie, I guess, because that also plays a factor into it. Because if you just throw it into a character like this person does this, I'm like, okay, cool.
That's true.
But if you see someone like, I guess, progress their story, I guess, throughout the line, you start to kind of care more. Like you start to believe it more, I guess.
Yeah. So we didn't actually get to see her do any like badass stuff either. Really.
Yeah, you just like, oh, she does this. I'm like,
you see that guy right there? He's a huge dick.
Yeah, and you're like, okay. You're like, cool.
Yeah, now we got to see him use it, though.
See it to believe it. There you go.
I feel like I used a bad analogy.
Hey, you thought of it. The first thing you
I like
thought
how
of your
you
head.
agreed with it, bro.
I was like, that's the first thing that you thought of.
All right. Moving on.
No more TikTok.
No. The Coyote character was fine. Nah, dude. And that and the whole plot with the... So, okay. I ran this back in the morning.
You watched it again?
Yes.
Okay.
And from what I learned was, right, so as soon as they walk into the quarantine zone, there's just mountains of dead bodies. Because those are like the mindless Resident Evil zombies, correct? They call them Shamblers. Yes, when they went into the quarantine zone.
Okay.
So technically, all the actual dumb zombies are dead. And the only ones left are the smart ones.
Didn't they say that they have the regular zombies, but there's more smart ones?
No. I think all of the dumb ones died. That's why there's none of them.
Keep in mind that since I was watching a bad quality, it sounds a little off too.
Yeah.
So I might have missed maybe some details.
I'm just guessing, like, because I don't understand.
Because I thought they were like, oh, when the coyote took him in and everything, and she was talking about like, oh, I know more about this stuff because I've been through it and all. That she's like, yeah, there's smart ones that you have to do like an offering to like, I guess get past them or then.
That's what she was saying is the people in there aren't what you think they are, because remember, technically they never attacked them the entire time until they later betrayed them.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. I don't know, because it's like I don't think they were all smart though, like smart zombies.
Not smart, but they could be controlled. Because there were the mindless ones. Remember, she said they were all dead though, because they just stood outside the wall and they all just burned to death or whatever in the sun.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean now. Oh, that makes sense because the smarter ones were the ones inside the building, like later down.
Yeah, because remember, they never really get attacked until they start fucking with them on accident.
Okay, I see what you mean now. Okay, then that makes more sense because I was like,
so that was a different twist, is that there weren't actual zombies; they were pretty much mutants.
Yeah, like they weren't like deadbeat zombies like any other zombie movies, where it's like, oh, there's just a zombie just coming out of nowhere, just kill me. It's more of like they will attack you, but they won't like necessarily do anything to you unless you don't mess with them.
Yeah. And then there was the whole story where the whole reason they go in is because there's a Japanese millionaire who's like, yo, I got millions left in the city, so I need you to go grab it and bring it back, and you can have a cut.
Which is when then it goes into a heist movie.
Yes. And I remember thinking, like, okay, this is pretty straightforward. Something's going to go wrong. It's going to be harder to get out than they think. And my girl looks at me and she goes, doesn't that seem kind of fishy to you? And I'm like, no. That'd be stupid for them to do, like, one of those corny-ass twists.
And they did that corny.
And they did that corny-ass twist.
I was like, well, there was two super obvious characters that were going to die. At least for me. Which is the henchman that the Japanese billionaire sent.
Uh-huh.
It was super obvious that he was going to do the twist and, like, betray them and then die. But then also the first guy, the cop guy. they offered.
Yeah.
Like those were like super obvious. Like, okay, I know what's gonna happen to those guys. The other guys were kind of like playing it out and seeing like what was gonna happen.
Listen, I gave this movie so much credit. This might be why I'm so annoyed by the movie, because they literally go right off of the bat. Somebody talks to Batista and goes, "You see that guy over there? I think he might betray us."
He's like,
And
nah.
what happens? And what happens, bro?
He betrays us.
He betrays us. Like, bro, there might as well be little arrows all around the guy saying like,
I'm betraying
bad
you,
guy, you know?
It's like that's every like person or movie characters was like, nah, it's not gonna happen. Or they play stupid dead and like dumb and then don't like have like, what are you talking about? What you mean? We can totally trust this guy.
Yeah, like it's the opposite of Game of Thrones, where Game of Thrones supposedly those guys said they always wanted to subvert your expectations, which means they'd lead you in one direction and then drop it all on your head, but like with clues you didn't notice.
Mm-hmm. But this one's more like,
it was completely fucking obvious.
yeah, it was like super obvious, and I like how that one chick was like straight, the only one calling him off on him, like
Mexican chick.
Yeah. She was the only one calling him on the bullshit.
You know who that was?
No.
That was the nun from Nacho Libre.
Are you serious?
His sister Encarnacion.
Are you serious?
Encarnacion.
Great movie, by the way.
Fucking legendary.
I did not know that.
My girl called it out like right away. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, fuck yeah.
Background.
Baddie. Nah, but yeah.
She was the only one calling one out.
She was the only one that had any type of like development like revolving around Batista, right?
Yeah. And then it's like she was obviously the first one that got nitpicked because of him. Because he just slowly started like, messing with them up.
Yeah.
And it's like when that happened, I was like, how do you guys not realize that right away off the bat? Like, didn't even explain like he didn't even try explaining anything or anything. Like, they didn't even question him about it or at all or anything either. It's like, I feel like at this point they were just super oblivious to it. Because like, how do you, like, because you know how in the scene where they're like, oh, I'm gonna leave a trail for you, just follow me so that we don't wake up the zombies because they're in the building. That's when like,
yeah.
And it's like, how do you? And then at that point she was like, don't. I'm watching you because you're gonna double cross us.
And that's when he's like, take this, bitch.
Yeah, and then he throws the glow stick to a different direction, and then like, how do you guys not notice that she's not there no more? And second, like she's all shooting zombies and everything by herself and like nothing.
Bro, that was one of the first times in the movie because up until that point I was like, all right, I'm invested. And then she has her, what would you even call that, bro? She was like fucking River Tam in Serenity or Firefly, bro. Like I don't think you've seen that movie, but it's this one chick who fights like 1,000 fucking Reavers. But in this scene, this Mexican, this little chola, bro, with a bandana, fights like 90 zombies in the pitch black with a knife. Yeah, and a one handgun, into that she never reloads.
And never reloads because obviously it's an action movie. Never reload an action movie.
Fights her way through this Silent Hill style fucking black hallway, and you're like, oh, maybe she's dead. And at every turn, she almost dies, but she gets out of it. But at the last possible second, she actually catches up to the fucking group, and she's like 30 feet away from them, right?
Yeah.
And mind you, she's already killed like 50 zombies at this point. But now there's like 30 around her, and everybody's like,
gotta leave her.
Gotta go.
It's like
how like annoying was that?
That's what I'm like trying to like. How do I word this? Because it's like, I get it. In movies, you can't have them be like super smart because not everyone's gonna like. If it was super obvious and like what to do, this would be done like so much faster. The movie would be so much shorter. So it's like you obviously have to have your characters that are dumb. Like when like horror movies, like the girl falls, she doesn't try to get up and run away. She just stays on the ground. And he dies, stuff like that. So I get you have to have that, but it's like it's super annoying because it's like in that situation.
If she would have lived, she would have ratted him out, and that'd been the end of it.
That would have been the end of it. They would probably kill the guy already, and then I think everything else would go to how it should go. But it's like how you said, she's only like 30 feet away or so from them. Because, I mean, before that...
Not even, bro. It looked like...
It was even
like
closer.
15 feet.
And even before that, like... You know how in the scene where she fights her way out of the zombies, she finds a doorway where she sees the guy, like, to get out, but the guy barricades the door to not let her, and he sees obviously sees that it's him, and then she later on you don't see her, and then she just busts through a window like, and then she's like, oh hey, what's up? It's like, and she's on the ground fighting more zombies. Like how even at that point when she's fighting the zombies, she could have like ratted him out saying he did like tell them about it.
I
She
kind
didn't
of
even do anything either.
I kind of understand it because this is once again us thinking too hard about the fucking movie.
When we should have.
But in my head, I rationalized it like, okay, like we just said, she just killed 90 zombies.
Which I
She
get,
jumped through a
but-
fucking window. She's gassed the fuck out. Could you imagine trying to still fight zombies and go, oh, hey, by the way, that guy right there, he did this, and now you got to kill him. Like, her mind was probably elsewhere.
But at that point, we're still going into this movie more.
Exactly, but
but
still.
but it's like at that point, I mean, you kind of expect to go into doing that.
I feel like they ruined a golden opportunity, bro. If that chick had survived, how badass of a character would she have been just from that one moment?
She would have probably been like how you said in the beginning that the leader died. She probably would end up being like the new leader.
Right. I mean, she could have been like, you've seen Resident Evil, right?
Yeah,
Michelle Rodriguez. Was that not what she was?
yeah, that's basically what it was.
She killed a bunch of zombies. She got bit right off the bat, but she lasted all the way to the end.
And like, that could have been just another another way of doing that as a golden opportunity, basically, to do that. And you're like, no, we're just gonna kill her. And like you said, 30 feet away, didn't even try to like stop them. They were just staring at her, just fighting zombies. And then like the last second, they're like, we gotta go. And then the dude is like, not even like they're pointing their guns at him, but not even shooting at him. Which I get because it's like if you shoot her, maybe you kill her. But at the same time, it's like you could at least help her out.
Right, bro. Like, she had the most badass scene, I feel, in the movie, unless I'm thinking of missing something else in my head.
That was
Like,
it.
was that not, like, the coolest fucking part? And she was the coolest character at that moment. Killed her.
And then
Nothing.
just like nothing.
Threw it away.
Yeah. And it's like,
And once that happened in my head, I'm like, okay, none of these people fucking matter. Because even, like, when Batista's fucking woman, what happens to her, bro? They're on an elevator. They decide they're going to start a relationship, correct?
was that it?
Yeah. Remember she was like, she professes her love to Batista?
Oh, you're talking about you're talking about that chick. I thought you were talking about like
Encarnacion, bro.
I thought you were talking about like the actual, like his actual wife in the movie.
No. I'm talking
okay.
about Sister Encarnacion.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's like that. It's like, hey, you do that. Next thing you know, a zombie comes out of the thing and just snaps her neck.
Twists her fucking head around, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, this movie really doesn't give a shit about anybody.
Any development or any plot or nothing.
None of it matters.
I mean, that was pretty funny though. I ain't gonna lie.
It was. But once, like, but in my head, like I said, once the Mexican chick died there after that big ass fucking scene, all that time we spent with her fighting in the dark, I was like, oh, okay, nobody matters.
No, it's like this could have been a killer movie, but they dropped the ball on it.
Yeah, and what about the safecracker dude? I liked him. Was it Dieter?
Yeah. What was the thing though? Like like how you just said, how this movie doesn't really like develop characters. So to me, it's like I couldn't really be like, oh, he's pretty cool, like cool character. They were just more like they're just there to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he was there for what he had to be there, I guess, for the movie, like the comic relief and like. He's like, he doesn't fight zombies. He doesn't do anything, but he's the smart guy.
I liked his energy with the black dude. Like they kind of
developing-
bounced off each other really
yeah.
well. Like they kind of made me kind of like care about them slightly.
Mm-hmm.
But
I can see that.
even then, like and he has that moment even where he dies, right? Where he pushes him in the damn safe.
Yeah, he puts him. He pushes him in the safe and then he just closes
He
the
gets
safe.
bitten as it's closed, right?
Yeah, and because he sacrifices himself for him.
And their development was cool because there was a lot of banter in between, like when Dieter kills his first zombie, when he's working on the
trap.
opening the safe and they're going through the traps together. Like
Yeah.
that was cool. That's cool development.
See, like that's what I say. Like this movie had like, if you would have stuck with this a little bit longer, it would have been a lot more better. But it had something good. They had a golden ticket, and they lost it.
Yeah.
Because like with that, you could have developed that more. With the other chicks, you could have developed that more, and you could have had some pretty cool like badass characters, like or pretty cool like storyline. But
like I just tuned out on a lot of the stuff that wasn't action stuff, like the camp with the daughter and the Mexican dude. Like before that, like I mean, yeah, it's conflict, but it's not all that interesting.
It's not, and honestly, that's also another big gripe I had with that movie, which is what you were saying earlier. How you were talking about how like, how you mentioned that that's one of the scenes that you didn't understand or you didn't like about like the campsite. It's like with me, it's like I get like, like the Mexican chick, like her, Batista's daughter was helping that one other lady, like because she needed money. I guess I don't even remember what her motive was to go into to with the coyote.
Right. I thought I missed something. Why the
I'm
fuck
like,
did she go in?
I don't remember a scene of why she. I think she said she wanted to get money to like a better life for her kids, but other than that, I don't remember her motive at all. And it to me like that whole motive of
So
like,
of her like needing to go find that woman was kind of like
yeah, like
it seems stupid because we don't understand it.
yeah, it seems stupid to me because I mean in the end, like her going over kind of screws the whole mission up because then the daughter is like Batista's daughter ends up going trying to find her by herself, and it's like just kind of ruins everything for everybody else. But it's like there was really no logical reason for that to happen. But like I said, for purpose movie wise, like story wise, it had to be there for that reason. But logically, it's like you could have just done it without it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could have just ignored all that. You could have not put it in. And same thing, you could have not put that in. You would have had a golden ticket for another a good thing, because you wouldn't focus on that. You would focus on something else. But since you added that, you dropped the ball again, because like there was no need for it. There's things in that movie where it's like you could have gone more into, and there's things you could have taken out of the movie that you didn't need in that movie.
Definitely.
Because like majority of the movie, you're like, you could have not done this. You could have.
Like I said, I feel like everything in between the action scenes was just kind of meh.
Exactly, like those scenes where it's like you could have done without this, did something else.
Or like I said that the Japanese guy's bodyguard, the main bad dude,
Yeah,
his whole motivation seemed like he was there not only to betray the group. Have we even said that he betrays the group
already
with
mentioned that.
Lily?
yeah,
So low key, the plot twist. We talked about the Japanese dude having like ulterior motives, but his ulterior motives were to swipe. He said he needed a sample, right, so he can recreate the virus or whatever.
yeah. Which is why the the I don't even remember his name. I don't even remember any of his characters' names, to be honest. That's how much I cared about them.
Exactly.
But it's like the main bad guy. That's why he took the head of like one of the zombies. Like I guess the queen zombie. I don't even know.
The Queen Zombie. That's what her name was in the Wikipedia.
Great description. Nailed it on the park. And like that's just he like he didn't they didn't even care about the money. It was more of like they just wanted a sample so they recreate it because apparently that would make them more money. I guess.
Because then they can sell it. They can create an army of zombies and sell them.
Gotcha. And yeah, and then so that happened, and it's like I don't know like why would you want to risk that for your henchmen, or like why as a henchman why would you risk your life just to get a sample of a zombie like
Right.
doing all that when you could just probably gone in, shot a zombie, take a sample, and just walk out.
I don't know.
It like it doesn't like it's like how you said. The more you think about this movie, the less it makes sense to you. But
The more you think about it, the less you enjoy it because, like you said, it's a mindless film. You just kind of want to watch it just for the sake of watching it.
yeah, like you just have your brain turned off and just like watch it, and you're just like, oh, that's pretty cool. We start thinking about it, it's like this movie makes no fucking sense, and
it's actually low key frustrating.
yeah, like right now it's kind of getting like a little frustrated. Like why is this like this? This would have been a great movie if you did not do this, do that, and stuff like that. Now it's time to nitpick on this movie.
Exactly. But I mean, that's one of them things people would probably say, well, like, let me see you guys write a better movie. And it's like, we didn't try.
We didn't try. And I'm sure if we did,
But I mean,
I'm not saying it would be anything better.
that's why it's tough to like,
It'd be more logical.
it's tough to completely give Zack Snyder a hard time because he did do an original zombie film that was, punch for punch, one of the top zombie films, I feel, in the Dawn of the Dead movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. This just felt very, like it was meant to be really commercial, I guess, which, I mean, it clearly is.
Yeah.
Because it's probably been seen by a fuck ton of people.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think for them, it's like, I don't care. As long as people watch it and I make money out of it, it doesn't matter to me. Which, I mean, I guess at that point it makes sense.
Yeah. So, we've talked a lot about bad stuff. What stuff you liked about it? I think we mentioned like the two things,
The-
like
the
the effects and
the action and the effects. Just really have to go on for this movie, to be honest, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's like I said, it's a fun movie to watch because there's some pretty cool scenes. Like the video, like it's like a video game.
it's like watching cutscenes just nonstop.
Yeah, it's like watching like a cutscene for a video game that it's not playable, but there's action in that cutscene. It's like watching that, and the action is pretty cool. The story it sucks, but whatever. No one cares about people care about the gameplay, not the story.
That's fair to say, bro.
So it's like that, and other than that, it's like that's basically what it is to me. Like it's just like a video game, but it's just bad story, but the gameplay is really cool.
Fun fact about this movie, right? There was originally supposed to be a famous comedian in the motherfucker. A guy named Chris D'Elia. You ever heard that name?
Sounds familiar.
He's got a pretty big podcast.
What was his part in it? Or what was
He was going to be the pilot.
Oh, instead of the chick?
Yeah, but he got caught up in all those like texting underage chicks like thing, the whole Me Too shit.
I've seen that it's coming up a lot for a lot of people.
So he had already filmed the movie though.
He was already in it. And
so Zack Snyder had to fucking CGI his ass out and digitally alter and insert the fucking chick. And if you watch it, you can tell. Like if you're running back and look just
I
at the
probably
pilot,
watch it in better quality.
That's what I'm saying. But if you see the pilot, there's a lot of scenes of like where she's just in the background, just, and you can tell the light is slightly just by the fucking tiniest fragment of light. You could tell like when you're really looking at her, you're like, oh, you're not there.
So they didn't even bother reshooting it.
I think they probably did her alone scenes. I bet you, like when she's like in the helicopter. You know, she's not with the group.
Yeah.
So clearly, those are easy, probably to shoot differently.
I guess that makes it because it's just a one-off, like with just her.
But like the group shots when they're like in the hangar talking to the Japanese guy or planning and shit, and you see her like in the background, you can definitely there's some weird shit. It looks clearly doctored.
I need to see this. I guess to watch it better to like notice it.
Yeah.
Because I like I said, I watched it in bad quality, and it wasn't like some stuff wasn't clear, and then some of the dialogue wasn't clear to me. But like I can make the majority of the movie. But I didn't even know that. I guess it makes sense why there's really not much of her, of the pilot in the movie.
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering now how much it would have been different
if that dude had been in it.
If the dude had been in it and they didn't like reshoot a lot of the stuff, or I guess edit over it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like maybe they. Well, if she was just in the background a lot, then she probably didn't even have a big part in it. Then, anyways.
Probably not. I'm assuming though he would have had more of a comedic relief part. Because the fucking dude was a comedian.
I guess, yeah. But, like, even that character, like, the pilot wasn't even a comedic character either.
Well, she had one line in the movie, was when the guy's like, limit easy peasy Japanesey, and the German kid's like...
You can't say that no more.
And then she goes, well, I mean, he's Japanese, so he could probably say it.
Okay, being honest, I think there's only two scenes in this movie that made me laugh. The head snapping and... What was the other? I don't remember the other part. What was it? I think
you didn't laugh any time the safe guy fucking screamed.
No, it wasn't funny to me. There was another scene that was pretty funny to me that made me laugh, but I can't even remember what it is. I feel like now that I think about it, like I know the plot of the movie, but I don't remember anything specific about this movie, like anything memorable about it.
You know what I was trying to think of?
Oh.
Like a favorite gore scene or a favorite kill scene, and outside of the tiger one just came into my head right now. That was pretty savage.
That's what it was.
The tiger ate the guy.
That tiger scene that made me laugh because it reminded me of the Hulk and the Loki scene.
Oh, when he smashed him.
When he's throwing them back and forth. That's what it reminded me of, and it made me laugh because I'm like I feel like I had some there was some resemblance of that in the tiger scene when the tiger was throwing the guy around.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I remember. It was only those two scenes that made me laugh. Other than that, I didn't really find much comedy in the movie.
Yeah, like that was something else I wanted to go back to. Like we talked about the effects being well done and the violence being cool, but like racing through the movie in my head, right? Nothing stands out to me. Like outside of the tiger kill when the tiger bites the dude's head and like
And
blood
it's like
squirts.
yeah.
It's like there was so much over the top shit that happened that it all kind of just melted together. And like as I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, it's dope, or yeah, it's cool, but nothing
It doesn't
stands out.
Yeah.
It's all just one continuous. Like one of the scenes that does stand out to me just in terms of corniness and like video game cutscenes is when Batista's in the casino and they're escaping and he's running on the tables with his rifle fucking dome piecing. Like he's literally just spraying, praying, but every single shot's headshot as he's jumping tables and shit.
I noticed that every shot that these guys took was just straight up just headshot. Even the guy that's never held a gun before shot a gun, nothing, straight up headshot. And it's like what the hell?
And once again, we can't take this shit too seriously, but it's just like you notice it, you know?
It's like it's like I don't even know if it's nitpicks or it's like or what it is at this point anymore. It's like this movie's like something different. Like it's I think it's like its own thing where it's like it's not memorable. It's cool to watch. The story doesn't matter, and it's like, but where does it stand though? Is it a good movie or is it a bad movie? You know?
I think it's literally gonna be. I don't know. Like, is it weird that I feel bad saying I think it's a bad movie?
That's what I'm talking about because it's like
I want to say I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like it. Now the more we've talked about it, dude, I clearly just don't like it.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not a bad movie.
Can it be a bad movie that looks good?
What if it's so bad it's good?
I don't think it's even that.
Because it's like I said, the action, then the video game feel is like it's pretty cool. Like I'll give them that. But like the story wise, it's so cliche, and you already know what's gonna happen from the beginning to the
It's a
end.
very predictable story.
Yeah, it's very predictable. And then, I mean,
What'd you think of the ending?
I was a little confused, because I was confused on why I'm gonna just say the black guy because I don't remember his name.
Well, okay, so check it out. So Batista gets bit at the end of the movie, right?
Yeah,
that
was a given.
And he turns in about
Like
10 minutes, 5 minutes,
10 minutes.
And so then we find out this black dude got bitten, and then he hikes across the desert.
No, he was the guy that got pushed in the safe.
I know, but when he gets out after the nuke has fallen, he
Which-
doesn't die from radiation poisoning somehow.
I guess you can say because he was in the safe, but my thing is, how do you get out of the safe?
He just pops the fucking door open, right?
I don't know because it's like it doesn't show anything. All you know is this dude just come up, like he just got out of the vault. He's like no one's around anymore, and so he's like he has the bags of money and just like leaves and hikes up. I think to his old house maybe or some random house. Finds the car. The keys are on the roof of the car for some reason. Drives around, goes to the airplane place. An airport. A private airport. I don't know. Basically buys out the lady at
He buys an airplane.
Yeah, and then he just gets on an airplane just like nothing. And then he starts acting weird. He goes to the bathroom and sees he has the thing. He's like, well, fuck.
Yeah. I thought clearly that took longer than 5 or 10 minutes.
It was more like
Do you think it's implied he got bitten by like the main? No, but Batista got bit by the main one too, right? And it turned him fast.
no,
because
I think there was a scene where you could see him clearly get bit. I just don't remember because, like I said, this movie's not. There's no memorable scenes in this movie. But because there was a time where in that scene where he like tries to he throws off his gear, his guns and everything, tries to fight the main zombie to a fist fight, which I don't know why we want to fist fight a zombie, but whatever.
Like I want to make the excuse and say like, oh, he was bit by the main zombie, so it's different. But Batista got bit by the main zombie, and it wasn't different.
Well, I'm referring to him actually getting bit, but I don't know if he actually got bit by the main guy or not. But in terms of him turning, how I took so long to turn, that I don't know, because Batista turned in 5 minutes. That dude had to be in the vault for a while for the nuclear radiation to go away and all that stuff. That had to take
had to have been half a day at least.
Probably even more because I don't think it would go away that fast.
I think he would die if he was in the vault longer than a day.
I don't remember how much you could survive without food. I know water's a week, but
Food's like 3 weeks or something.
something like that. But so it had to be less than that if we're being logical. If we're not being logical, who knows? But it's like I don't think that was all in one day either. Like, cause this dude drove to Utah,
Yeah.
and then and then I know it's like a couple hours away, so it had to be hours also.
Yeah.
So this dude just went like hours without turning until the moment he got on an airplane when he turned. Jesus, that got bit in like 5 minutes. He's like, all right, I'm a zombie now.
Yeah.
So it's like back to again nitpicking on this movie.
You know, I was hoping for it would have been cool, and I think it would have left a better taste in my mouth if after he discovers he's been bit, like what if like the last scene was like the airplane from the outside and the door just pops open, you just see him fall out.
See him fall and just turn into a zombie.
Like if he did some type of honorable death, you know?
Oh, I see. Like he opens it and it just like.
You just see him fall out of the plane.
Okay, I see what you mean now.
But instead, I think it's implied that he was like, well, I'm a zombie.
Yeah,
Credits.
because it's like my thing was like, oh, maybe he's gonna try to find something in the bathroom to kill himself or something like that, you know?
But no, the way it ends to me implies that he was like, well, this happened.
He locked himself in the bathroom and then he turned into a zombie. I don't even know if he locked himself in there. Which I feel like it's just a sequel bait.
Yeah, probably set up a sequel.
Yeah, to be like, or something like that. Because it's like same thing with the beginning. Like, where does that zombie come from? Now it's like, oh, where's this zombie gonna go? It just,
Well, the first one, man, I chalked that up to, like I said, just the government doing science shit.
just science, and I guess that's true because they were doing military transport.
Bioweapons, sir. Resident Evil's conditioned us to know this stuff.
Because I remember because in the scene with opening scene, like even the guys in the driving it, they were like, "What? I wonder what's in there. Like, what do you think's in there?" And they were just saying like the most randomest shit ever.
Did you pick up on the social commentary Zack Snyder tried to do with the temperature guns?
Yeah, I
Like,
saw.
what are we gonna do? This crazy country where now they're just taking everybody's fucking temperatures.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I was like, I see what you're doing.
Yeah, that's the one time he did that. I think.
Yeah, because I remember on the newscast, the newscast, we're saying that too, and it was like, I see what you're doing, trying to tell everyone here the same thing that's going on right now. I see what you. But other than that, dude, I'm like, this movie is just like, it's just a mess.
Yeah, like, fuck it. What do you rate it, man? 1 to 6 inches. Where we going?
It's like that's where I'm stuck. Whereas I'm like, it's not a good movie, but it's not like.
You want me to go?
Yeah,
I got the number.
All right,
I'm going 2.
you going to?
I'm going 2 because the effects were dope, but I dislike the story enough that I won't even give it like a passable.
You know what? I think I'm gonna go like 2.5
That's fair.
because it's like I said, it's not such a bad movie. There's been a lot more worse movies out there, but it's nowhere near being like a really good movie. But it's like a fun movie to watch where you're like, just I don't know, you have a couple beers or like you're a little tipsy or drunk or whatever, and like, hey, let's put a good movie. It's like I can see you doing that. And be like, this is like a great time because it's fun. But it's
Yeah.
like other than that, it's like you're not gonna remember it. There's nothing memorable about it.
And also, could you argue that Zack Snyder should be held to a higher standard for his movies? Given that, he made 300, he made Watchmen, he made... Or do you think those movies are, like, a pass for, like, why he had made this? Like, because those movies aren't exactly deep fucking philosophical films.
No, I feel like it's more of having a name that
allows him to make this kind of stuff?
like think of like Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Like, do you know
Booty.
what? Do you know what? You done?
Yeah, okay.
That was fast.
Continue.
You should probably work on that. It's like that, where it's like Kim Kardashian. You know the name, but what the fuck does she do?
Uh-huh.
So it's like him. It's like, you know my name. I have some movies, but it's not like you're hold up to the standard of like, I know this guy. He makes great quality stuff.
You're saying he's not like Scorsese or fucking...
Yeah, like he has a well known name, but he hasn't produced anything like over the top. Where like, this is such a great film.
Or like James Cameron, the guy who made Avatar and shit.
okay, like think of it. You think of Quarantino, you think of all the movies he's done. It's like, there's never really been a bad movie like that.
True.
But it's like with Snyder, you think of like you know the name, but you don't think of anything that stands out to you. Like, oh, this is such a great movie.
Then again, like I said though, like Sucker Punch is the perfect example of when it looks beautiful. That's one of those so bad that it's good to me. Mm-hmm. Because like it knows in my head though, right? It knows it doesn't take itself seriously. Where this one I feel completely tries to be a serious movie. Or am I thinking of it wrong?
I thought of that a little bit also when watching this movie. Like this movie, like for some part it tries to take itself serious, but some parts it doesn't take itself serious.
Because like it tries to be a social commentary on our current situation with quarantining and shit, right?
Yeah.
It tries to be like the father-daughter story with Batista.
Like it tries to get you captivated into like
Batista has to kill his own wife and whatnot.
They try to like give you the motives, the background, and, like try to get you involved, and, like feel for them and all that stuff. But in the end, it's like
it failed in doing that.
It failed in doing that because you have something to work off of, but you don't like go more into it. Which, like I said, just makes this movie not memorable. You'll watch it, have a good time, but after that, you're like. What do you like about it? I don't know. It's just fun to watch.
That is true because we both kind of were like, I don't even know what I don't like about it. I don't know what I liked about it. It was just kind of.
It was just there. Because it's like, I remember the movie from the beginning to the end, surprisingly. But there's nothing that stands out that's like super memorable. Like, I want to talk about this.
Yeah.
It's just a regular heist movie. Like, all right, we go in, do what we got to do. Shit happens. Oh, well, it's expected. And then get out. And then you get out, and you expect the ending you're going to expect. So it's like you kind of already played it out a little bit. Because, I mean, think of it like this. Like, if I ask you, before you watch this movie, what did you expect the plot to be? What would you have said?
Guys running around shooting zombies. Really over-the-top action scenes. I didn't even understand the plot from the trailer.
Yeah, exactly. So after seeing it, does that change? Or is it still the same?
No, it's the same movie. Like, even with the forced attempt to try to be a little bit different with the alphas and shit, like, they didn't explore that. There's no...
Like, and even when they mentioned that, the whole pregnant zombie. Like, the male, like, king zombie or whatever, Zeus or whatever his name is, like, upset about his like, kid dying, but we don't know anything about how the zombie kid was a thing or why it was a thing or anything like that.
Are you saying we needed to see them banging?
No.
Oh.
My thing is how the hell do zombies bang at all?
So you had to see it is what I'm saying.
No.
Oh.
I'm just saying. Like.
You think it could have saved the movie if we saw some zombie on zombie action?
I'm saying why was that even a thing in the movie? And why do you care?
You're the one bringing it up.
Do you not think it's weird that they added that?
Yeah, fucking with you, dude.
I know you are. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to like.
Of course, it's fucking weird. Are there not even zombies in that case? Because zombies are the living dead. Therefore, their organs and shit shouldn't be working. It shouldn't, let alone a reproduction system.
And then, like, because when I saw that, I was like, why is this even in the movie? Like, I guess it gives the zombie motive, but like, does the zombie really need a motive?
It could. What did it need more motive than his woman was dead? His partner, right?
And even then, why would a zombie need motive to kill? If that's what a zombie's known for. You don't have to develop a zombie and be like, this zombie is killing for this reason.
Why wouldn't there be like 1,000 fucking zombie babies? Because if zombies can bang, they would all be banging.
They wouldn't be the only child.
Right.
And it's even weird because I find it weird how he takes the kid out, holds it in his hand, and then he's just like, it's dead. It's like, that wasn't even part of it either. Like, I don't even know why that was in there. So it's just like, this movie's just like, why'd you do this? What does this mean? It's just more nitpicking this movie. It's like, I don't even know what to say anymore about this. It's like,
I'm over it.
It's just like, I'm over it because it's like, there's scenes where I'm just like, why was this in it? Why? Another thing. See, at this point, I'm just putting gripes that I had this movie. He had a helmet. A metal helmet, and they keep shooting his head. How does that make sense?
Maybe you'd think you'd break the helmet.
I'm sure after one shot, you see the bullet do nothing to it. I'm sure you would be like, all right, I gotta either shoot something else or do something else.
Well, in the moment, like, you know that shooting him anywhere else is going to do nothing. So in panic, wouldn't you just kind of keep trying to shoot the helmet?
I mean, I guess, but like, I don't know, maybe shoot his legs to kind of like make
Slow him down.
slow him down, or
If I'm a military trained mind, I should have that type of like awareness. But
yeah, because it's like I said, you clearly see he has a metal helmet, and even then, why does the zombie have a clear like a metal helmet? Like the only zombie that does. You figured at that point you would give all of them like a metal, you
I
know.
would have just gave them all metal helmets, bro.
Like you could have done that. You could to be different from zombie movies. They all have metal helmets for
Oh,
whatever.
that would have been so fucking cool, actually. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like this movie has so many golden tickets you could have used, but you dropped the ball because it's like think about it. What other zombie movie would you have that have like metal helmets?
Where like they were ready and they were that would have made them more of a formidable opponent.
It would have been made you
'Cause-
be like. It would have made you think like, oh, okay, well, zombie headshots don't matter then. Like every other zombie movie, shoot them in the head. Oh, they're dead.
Well, hear me out. Like, have you ever seen the new Planet of the Apes movies?
No,
Oh, those are badass. So have you seen the old ones?
no,
Do you understand the concept of the story?
yes, I know
Apes
about
take
it.
over the planet.
Yeah, I know about it. I just never watched like the movies for it.
So the remakes are like Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and then War for the Planet of the Apes or some shit.
Uh-huh.
And then the second one, Dawn. This is after like post-apocalyptic events or whatever, and now apes. They haven't even taken over the world. They're just in the woods, and people, because of virus, have like started to go extinct.
Uh-huh.
So the way the apes introduce themselves to people, the motherfuckers are riding horses and carrying spears, and they got like war paint all over their faces.
Mm-hmm.
Now that is different. That actually makes them, because say if like they had just like wandered out and climbed up to the fucking people, yeah, it'd be intimidating because they're apes, but it's something, we've seen in other films and in the older Planet of the Apes movies.
Yeah.
But by the fact of them carrying spears covered in war paint, kind of
Riding
Native
horses
American
and
style,
everything, yeah.
riding fucking horses, bro, it's like, oh, this is different.
Like imagine you see right now a monkey just passing by riding a horse right now. You'd
Exactly.
be like, you'd be stopped and be like, yo, what the hell?
This is a problem.
But if you see a monkey just on a tree just swinging, it's like,
Okay, well,
Yeah.
that's whatever. That's kind of what happened with the zombies, is it not? They were kind of like, well, they're just doing what zombies do. You
Yeah.
said they're different, but
yeah, but they're just regular zombies reacting, I guess how another zombie would react to like noise or whatever. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you could have put, I don't know, like if they were smarter zombies or whatever, like
it would have been cool, like you said, if they had like had helmets or
like
something,
military gear or something, or like I'm sure they won't have access to that stuff, or maybe they do because like people have to kill or whatever. But it's like it would have been like, okay, we can't just shoot them in the head now. You got to think of something else to do, and you could have given me like idea of like do something different.
Well, yeah, because the woman, the coyote lady, kept saying, "No, these are different. You have no idea what these are like," and they ended up being exactly what we thought they were like.
And then that I feel like that only applied to like the king zombie.
Yeah,
And it's like I said, if it would have done that, it would have a whole different plot at that point, and they would have maybe do something better for the movie. It'd be like, oh, it's memorable because the zombies are not like regular zombies. They're like they actually have like, for whatever reason, metal heads or whatever, and you can't shoot them in the head. They have to find a different way to kill them.
that's right.
So it's like I said, this movie just something else.
But guys, that's gonna end the portion of the podcast where we talk about this film, Army of the Dead by Zack Snyder, currently on Netflix, right?
Currently on Netflix.
So go check it out. But with that being said, we're gonna move on to the next part where we just kind of bullshit and see what happens.
let me keep crapping about this movie actually.
Edit. But no. So like I said, what I looked up is completely in reference to Child's Play. So I've got nothing but like fun facts about dolls
Okay.
and famous stories about dolls.
Okay.
So one that I found out, right, is that in Japan in the early 1900s, right, there was this kid. I don't know if he was a kid, maybe a teenager or some shit. He was just out shopping in the market.
Uh-huh.
And he saw this doll he liked. He was like, hey, this looks like a little geisha, with a little kimono, like shoulder-length hair. It's a little pale doll.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, hey, my 2-year-old sister would love this doll. So he buys it. And he takes it home, and he takes it to his sister. And his sister's name is Okiku, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the sister grows really attached to the doll. She takes it with her everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I think after a year or two, she comes down with yellow fever. She dies.
Uh-huh.
So, in, I guess, Japanese culture, they make shrines to you when you die in the house, right? As most people do, I guess, like pictures and shit, candles and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they stuck the doll on the shrine. And so, after the daughter died, they started to notice, like, poltergeist-like activity.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking lights flickering, stuff moving around the house or whatever. And they started to just associate it with the doll for some reason. So they were like, oh, but these people didn't get scared. They were like, oh, okay, this must be our daughter in the doll or whatever.
Trying to talk to us or whatever.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And so, a creepy thing about this doll was that its hair actually started to grow. The length slowly grew over time.
Uh-huh.
And that was another supernatural thing that led them to believe that their daughter or sister or whatever was in this doll.
Uh-huh.
And so at some point, or so the family just kind of got used to it. They were like, we never felt threatened by this, so we're just going to live with this paranormal whatever's going on. And at some point, they were like, all right, but we got to leave Japan now. We got to leave, but we don't want to take this doll with us because maybe that's, you know, the only connection she has to the land.
Mm-hmm.
So they give the doll to some museum in Japan that you can go and see now.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actually like a picture of her, and it's actually there still. It's like a doll with hair down to like its waist or some shit now.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks terrifying.
So the hair keeps growing constantly?
Yeah. You want to see the fucking doll?
Yeah. I'm sorry, it's funny to me.
I know.
What?
That's a big nope, right, sir?
That's... I'm assuming it's that one, right?
I'm guessing.
Because it's like, there's a couple of different ones over here.
They all look vaguely similar, though.
Dude, I would not want that.
You wouldn't want that?
I would not want them. I'm like...
Are you really, like, supernaturally or, like, paranoid about the shit?
No, it's more of just like... Why would I want that in my house? Because it's like, okay... With your daughter,
Mm-hmm.
Bella, do you, whenever you go buy her toys or someone buys her a toy, did you ever like think, nope, I'm not having this in my house because it looks too creepy?
Oh god, I'm 6. That laugh was really weird and forced, but yes.
Because it's like, you're just like, even if you're like, nothing happens or whatever, it's just like, I don't want this around my house.
Bro, my sister, when we were kids, right, on the subject of dolls, even though I brought them up, was fucking, she had this like, there was these old Barbies, bro, that were like life size, about this tall, and you could put regular clothes on them.
I think I remember those.
And they would be on this like circular round rotunda thing on wheels, but you could take them off, and you know their legs or whatever, you can move them.
Uh-huh.
And I remember we used to keep it in the basement because she got creeped out by the motherfucker, bro. And so you go downstairs to change the clothes, and you just see this like fucking Barbie that's about this tall just in the corner of the fucking room, and it just never felt right.
That's what I'm saying, like stuff like
it
that.
creeped you out.
Stuff like that. It's like, it's not that it like, it's not more of like, oh, I think this thing's gonna haunt me or whatever.
Well, no. It's I looked up while I was not researching, while I was just looking up shit about this. Do you know why people are inherently uncomfortable around dolls that like resemble people?
No, why?
Like, are you like that, by the way?
Like, what do you mean? Like, it's like afraid of dolls?
Not afraid, but does it kind of creep you out?
No, it's more of like, as long as they don't look like creepy, I guess.
Yeah.
Then it's whatever. Because like, think of it like for example, like whenever I close out my work and like pass by the toy section or whatever, like I don't get creeped out of the dolls there because it's in the dark or whatever. It's more of like, if they look creepy and they start talking by themselves, then it's like, okay, then yeah, I'm not gonna have this like in the house.
Well, no, that's justifiable.
Because it's like, as long as it's, doesn't look creepy. Like, if I was to look at it in the corner right now and I see a dog and I don't get creeped out, it's fine. But if like with that, you see that in the corner and you're creeped out, I'm like, all right, I'm not having this in my house anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's not, even though it's not nothing like supernatural going on or anything, it's just more of like, why am I going to get creeped out of my own house?
Mm-hmm.
You know? So it's like, with that, I thought about it. I'm like, if I was to have a girl, it's like type of dolls. If she's into dolls, type of dolls that would I be like, okay, that's fine, or be like, no,
So you got to give like the okay for the toy she's gonna get.
I'm like, I ain't about to have no doll talking in the middle of the night or no doll moving around just by itself or like some creepy looking doll in the house. Like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Like, you just said it yourself that you do that too, where
Yeah.
where you check the doll and you're like, this is kind of creepy.
Nah, that's what ain't it.
But
Yeah.
you have all this stuff still.
I mean, come on, those are cool though. Those are action figures, man.
Action figures.
Action figures.
Yeah, I know.
Nah, but yeah, so I think I read that like because some people are very susceptible to like when you're looking at a doll that's made to look like a person, your brain's trying to process that like
It's a person.
this isn't a person, but your brain is like tricking you low key, like it doesn't look right though. Like there's something wrong with that person, but we know it's an inanimate object.
Yeah.
So that's why some people get bothered by it.
I mean, I guess it makes sense because it's like with that doll, like you mentioned, if you see a doll about like this tall,
Yeah, like
in
the
the
one
corner, first thing, like say you're walking down in the basement, you gotta turn your light on. Say you don't get to turn it on at the very top, you have to go down to actually turn it on. You see that in the corner of your eye, you're gonna think it's a human being. Like,
it's shaped like a person, has a face like a person, but it doesn't
Yeah.
move, and it's
It doesn't
like, what the
move.
fuck?
yeah, and you turn on your light and like, oh, it's a doll, but your instinct is gonna be like, what the fuck is that in the corner? Like you're gonna be like, is that someone hiding? Is that like a ghost or because it's shaped like something that you're familiar with. So it's like I get that because I mean I'd be the same way to be honest then, because like if you got a doll that looked exactly like you, like would you not be freaked out?
Oh fuck yeah, dude, that's terrifying.
Exactly. So it's like I think it's just I think it's more of a common thing because I mean I'm sure there's people that there that like people that are like super into like Chucky dolls and stuff like that. Like they have them all in their house and everything. And it doesn't even bother them. But it's because they're into that. But to other people, it's like
Oh, this is freaky as fuck.
yeah. Other
Like
people, it's like
hell, some people this shit might creep out. Like specifically the fucking face I have on that book up there. My
Yeah.
daughter's terrified of it.
because it's like they're like I see this and I'm like whatever. But if you want me to start having like a doll and everything in here, like a Chucky doll or whatever, like if like I would be like, all right, this is kind of a little creepy. So I get that. That I understand. Like this, like that, I'm not scared of that. Like, but if
Well,
it was
no.
like more realistic looking, like more creepy looking, then it'd be like getting the pants shot. Then it'd be like, I'll be a little like okay, it'd be a little creeped out.
All right. Well, on the subject of dolls, right? I looked up this thing because I listen to creepypastas in my spare time sometimes, and I heard this one, and it always stuck with me. It's called "How to Play Hide and Go Seek Alone."
I think I've heard of it, but it's probably been forever.
This is also another Japanese story, I believe.
Go on.
So I want to explain to you the rules of how to play hide and go seek alone. I want you to tell me at what point you bow out.
Okay.
So say you're coming over, we're kids, right? And I'm like, hey, Alex, I want to play a game. You're like, okay,
Uh-huh.
what are we going to do?
Just seeing your reaction to that was funny.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to play a game?
You want to play a game, bro? We're kids, though, in this scenario.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
know,
dude?
I know. Just fucking with you.
So the first thing, I tell you, I'm like, all right, first we got to find a stuffed doll with limbs, but not a human doll, because if we get a human doll, there's a chance that the ghost might stay inside of the doll.
When you say ghost, I'm like, I'm already out.
No. The
I know.
spirit. All right, the spirit.
Anything.
And you think I'm full of shit, so you're like, all right, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, okay. No, yeah, like right now, it'd be like, when we say anything about interacting with anything, I'm like, all right, no, I'm not doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah. No.
But it's like, as a kid, I'm like,
Tell me,
you're
like, as a kid, do you think when you're like, all right, yeah, fuck this.
like, okay, well, yeah.
Okay, so now we got the stuffed doll with limbs that's not that doesn't look like a human doll.
Okay.
Now we need rice. We're Mexican, we got a fuck ton of it.
Rice everywhere.
Cool. And now we need something from your body, okay? A pube, mustache hair, a fingernail.
A little iffy, but I'm like, all right, nothing too.
Okay, and we need a sharp-edged object. Because, if the spirit decides to bite back, we got to be able to stab it, okay?
Where are we getting a knife? Who knows? But okay.
In the kitchen, anywhere.
All right.
We need salt water or just salt.
Okay.
And we need red thread
Very specific.
and a bathtub with water and a sanctuary so we can hide. Because it's hide and seek. Duh.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so first we're going to cut the doll open. Take all the stuffing out and just fill the motherfucker up with rice to the seam.
Okay.
We're going to put it in through its ass because I think that'd be funny.
Okay.
Okay. And then we got to wait till 3 a.m. So we got to wait till your folks are asleep, of course.
Okay.
All right. Now we got to turn off all the lights in the house, but only leave the TV on.
Okay.
Now, once it's 3, we're going to take the doll into the bathroom and repeat the word. First tagger is my name. Or your name. We'd probably use your name because I'd be too scared to try it on myself. So you'd be along for the ride and we'd 100% use your name.
Okay.
And we'll say it 3 times. So then we'll place the doll in the bath. And we'll walk away into another room, but we can't look back. Because if you look back, you might see the ghost and it might be already done. So we can't look back.
Okay.
All right. Now. So we close the restroom door. Oh, we go back and we tell it, found you, kind of like you're it, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
So now the ghost knows that I'm it or you're it.
Okay.
And now we go hide. And apparently it's supposed to like look for us.
Okay.
You're still in.
I've been out since a long time ago, but I just want to keep going with this.
What part were you out, bro?
I've been out.
Tell me what part were you out?
If I was to be how, like, my childhood was, I would have been out the moment he asked me for something for my body.
From your body?
Yeah, because I'm like, this is kind of weird.
So if I was like, I just need like a hair, one strand of hair.
Okay, maybe if it's like hair, I'm like, okay, but whatever.
I think whenever you talked about a sharp object, I'd have been like, yeah, you know, no, this seems like it could be dangerous.
That, or the moment he starts stabbing the doll, or like cutting it open, I'm like, what the hell? I don't know.
Oh yeah, and you got to put salt water in your fucking mouth so that the spirit can't get inside of you instead of the doll.
Is this now, or is this the step that you skipped?
This is a step that I skipped. That's why you need the salt water.
Oh. Okay, and then so it was your turn, and then what was the next?
Okay. We're in our hiding spot, right?
We go find the ghost saying it found you. Then it's the other person's turn, right?
Well, now the ghost thinks that we're it, so it has to come find us.
Okay.
So we go and hide, right? Just
2
little boys hiding.
Made it sound very weird.
And we want to remain silent when we're hiding. If the doll finds you, it will stab you with the object you stabbed it with. Oh, yeah, because we stabbed it when we found it. Okay? And it will possibly possess us. So we need to keep the salt water near us at all times.
Thought it was in your mouth. Thought it was in your mouth.
Yeah.
So just don't swallow it, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Salt water tastes nasty.
Yeah.
So, to end the ritual, get out of your hiding spot. Find the doll. It may not be in the bathroom because, you know, it moved around on its own. Got bored.
Yeah.
And then you drink the salt water. Oh, so you do drink it.
Oh, well, there you go.
Pour the remaining salt water around the doll in a circle as well. And then close your eyes and shout out, I win, 3 times. Now the spirit in the doll will give up and the game ends. And you must dispose of the doll by burying it with salt. Otherwise, the spirit will attempt to re-enter the doll. Yes. And then you eat the Chipotle burrito that your girl is holding off camera.
That magically floats over here. Oh,
Exactly.
She should have thrown it over here.
But yeah, so what do you think? Did you give it a shot? You believe in that kind of shit?
I haven't experienced it, so I can't say I believe it. But I'm not gonna say that it's not a thing. It's more of like I need to see it to believe it, but I don't know if I want to see it to believe it. You know?
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know. I just haven't experienced it, so I can't be like, yeah, I believe in it or not. But I don't know if I will ever want to. But
That reminds me of like that Charlie shit. You remember that trend that was like online?
Yeah, the one with like the little pencil and
the pencils
I
and
mean
shit.
that wasn't anything like that. Where it was like, hey, I'm supernatural. It's more of just the I don't know, like the wind blew the pencil or whatever.
So you think that one was like full on bullshit?
Yeah, like that one just like because if you did it,
I thought there was whole articles about that being like real like demonic shit.
I mean, you're gonna read anything that involves like stuff like that on the internet. Like
You think
news
it's
gonna
just
make
like
it.
you think
News
that's
are
just
gonna make it like, oh, it's demonic or people committed suicide because of it or stuff like that. But I mean,
so you think that could be called like an urban legend or something?
I don't know about being an urban legend, but I would just think more of just people were like, I think something's a trend.
Big
Yeah.
old crock of shit.
Because it's like, I mean, did you believe in that?
Probably not.
Exactly. So it's like, it's not nothing that would make you like, oh, this could be real. Because like with that, it'd be like, I wouldn't really want to necessarily try it to find out. But as a Charlie thing, it's just like, oh, the pencil's gonna spin around.
Would you do that one?
I think I've done it before with like maybe school with a friend or something, or they did it and I was there. I don't remember. Cause it's like it's just the pencil just spinning, just like, oh, it fell on this side. Oh, okay, that's it.
That's like the people that do like the Bloody Mary thing.
Yeah, like you go in the bathroom, say 3 times. If it happens, something happens. Oh, cool.
You ever tried that?
I've never tried that before.
Would you?
I don't know.
On like a dare? I wouldn't.
I probably wouldn't. I'm kind of leaning towards not, but it's like I feel like I'm kind of wasting my time at that point.
What if you were like at a bar, right, and you were with this chick and she was like really drunk and she was like, let's go to that restroom and do stuff. And then you get in the like restroom with her and she's all like, hold on, before we do anything, I have to do this every time.
What the hell?
And she's like, you got to do it with me in unison. That's the only way.
I'd be like, I don't feel comfortable. I'm leaving.
That's the one situation where they'd probably get me. Be like, okay.
You were like, okay. I don't know what's going on, but okay.
I'd like say Bloody Harry though, so it couldn't get me.
I was like, if a girl took you to the bathroom and said, I do this every single time, I need you to do it with me, I don't know what I would be like, what's going on here?
How often do you do this?
How often do you do this and what's going on? Because it's like, I don't know. Like I said, dude, it's like, it's those things where you're not against it because it might be true, but you're not too sure because you haven't experienced it, but you don't really want to experience it because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because it's supernatural. You don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. So it's like doing stuff like that. I'm like, it's depending, I guess, on what will happens or what will happen or what could happen. I guess it depends on if I would or not. Like that, if some doll's gonna start chasing me around trying to stab me, I'm like, why would I want to do that to myself?
Well, maybe because you don't believe it and you want to just like prove that it's bullshit.
I mean, at that point, you're going in as an objective of like, I want to prove this is not true. Compared to like someone that's gonna go like, oh, I want this for fun. Like, I want to see if this is real or not. Like, not to prove.
Yeah, I don't know who would think that'd be fun.
I was saying like not to prove to like, hey, this is fake. Like, this is just this is bullshit. But it's more of like, I want to do this because I believe it could be true and it'd be fun. Or like let's see what happens. Like at that point you're like, I don't know about that. Because it's like, why would you want to do that to yourself?
That's what I'm saying, bro. I wouldn't. But that's anybody. Like, why would you want to conjure up a spirit with fucking pencils?
I guess people are just into it, I guess.
Why would you want to waste your fucking light bill on, trying to see if there's some lady in an outfit fucking in the restroom?
Be like, you paying bills?
Like, if I'm not getting a hand job, I'm not doing it.
Goes to the hand job. Then you do it?
Yeah. Then I'm like, all right, you got me.
All right,
you got me.
We'll try it.
But, Alex, with that being said, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up.
All right.
Appreciate you for being here, man. I think this is episode 26, possibly. Something like that. Maybe 25.
You don't even know.
I've lost track because there's so many.